Greetings and welcome back to yet another episode of Is It Worth It? Or Is It Fucking Worth It? But you know, YouTube.
This time, we're going to talk about a show called Pinky Malinky.
And this was indeed requested by a fan or viewer, whichever they prefer.
And they even told me that Space Chicken in Space was under production before Breadwinners, and Disney even said so themselves.
Well, good, but the fact that Breadwinners came out first is also important. And also, it's about chickens and dogs. Who gives a crap? Okay, apart from those dogs, who gives a crap? Anyway, to get back on track, if you never heard about this show, then let me sum it up to you.
Pinky Malinky was greenlit back in 2015 and was supposed to air on Nickelodeon or Nicktoons in 2016. But due to many delays, apparently Netflix picked it up and decided to make it an exclusive.
And as the viewer or fan said, it's on Netflix, so of course I did the only logical thing.
I searched through my 1001 TV channels to figure out where the hell Netflix is located, and since I couldn't find it, I decided to dial up my local TV distributor. And after about 1 or 2 hours in various queues, I finally got a hold of them, and what did they tell me? That Netflix is apparently on my computer, so again, I did the only logical thing and brought out my computer. And after thoroughly dusting it off, I decided to search for Netflix.
And finally, I found it. And then I realized it was behind a paywall. Okay, so not only do I need to pay a monthly subscription to play my PS4 or Xbox One, I also need my cable package as well as some goddamn internet. And now upon all this, you're telling me I need to pay a monthly fee to watch shitty cartoons outside of regular television? Has the world gone mad? How can people afford this shit?
Anyway, I finally managed to find the show, which runs like a potato through my Commodore 64 and my lousy internet connection.
Oh yeah, I'm not joking, I have like 12 megabits a second. And no, I already checked it. It cannot be any faster.
Anyway, like always, we're going to look at 4 different aspects: comedy, character, story and originality. Let's take a look at the characters. We of course got Pinky Malinky, who's a sausage, I believe. Yeah, the art style kind of makes me unsure whatever it is, a sausage or some type of semi-inflated balloon. He's a cheerful little fella who's always happy and tries his best to help his friends and everybody else in the fucking city.
Imagine a less retarded Clarence, and that's Pinky Malinky.
Then we have JJ, who is the douchebag of the group.
Yeah, I know he's supposed to be the cool hip kid, okay? But every time I see someone dressed like that, I can only think of douchebag.
He's a real psycho on the web, being that guy you see on YouTube that got way too many views for making horrible shit and terrible editing and more than overly used filters and shit like that. Oh, and he also has a crush on Pinky's mom.
Yeah, because that is funny apparently. I didn't laugh when Ben 10 presented this concept to me, and neither do I do it now.
Dude, that's my mom.
Then we got Babs, the voice of reason and an insane friend.
Yeah, you know, that insane, crazy character like Unikitty or the worst of Harley Quinn. They decided to mix this up with the voice of reason like Jeff from Clarence or similar characters. How? I don't even know.
Next, we got the Rip Mother, who is, well, just that actually. The tech-afraid dad, which I must admit kind of made me chuckle a tiny bit.
And let's take a look at the good old family activities, you know, to really show off the characters' personalities as well as family traits.
Work hard, working out, together we shall work it.
Okay, if this is the family bonding activities, then I can easily predict 2 lonely apartments and an orphanage in the near future. Seriously, who has even heard of a family together breakfast dance and song? What the living hell?
Then we got the red-headed side character. I don't know if she has a name, but she's that type of person who has multiple jobs and more or less wouldn't give a damn about anything else.
And that is more or less the cast of the show. So now let's take a look at story.
It's a typical 10 minutes, in this case 12, since Netflix is just weird, man. Furthermore, the story is more or less kept to these 12 minutes and usually resets in the next one. Kind of like Simpsons, Family Guy and Gumball, who actually had a pretty decent joke about this concept. So the 5 episodes surround snacks. Yeah, seriously. One is about the main character's favorite snack being discontinued.
And the ending It's actually in violation of consumer rights. But it is a cartoon, so I guess it's okay. It's incredibly stupid, but okay.
The next is surrounding the age-old concept of getting a new pet, but of course the main character is too blind to see how terrible this pet is, and his friends have to save him from that pet.
Kind of like that terrible SpongeBob episode with the new pet in season 7.
You have left me no choice.
Next is called Tech, which basically surrounds what every kid is concerned about: their parents not being up to date with the latest tech. Because that's a real concern kids have.
But I don't have that problem at all. Oh, what's that you say? My Commodore 64? Oh yeah, I know, but don't you worry about that. I already pre-ordered the new Commodore 128, so as you can see, I'm hip.
Next one is called Spirit, which yet again is a more than done concept. Pinky has school spirits and wants to help everyone get there, since not having school spirit amounts in mass dropouts, apparently.
Sure it does.
But apparently the most popular girl in school who's also a fat ass.
Let me stop myself there. An overly large obese fat ass is the most popular girl in school. Get real, people. That would never happen. Seriously. If you can't believe in the concept they present to you, you really can't get a feel or spawn any sort of interest in the actual show.
Okay, let's play along. She's having a major crush on Pinky Malinky. I guess she misunderstood the term big wiener, or maybe someone told her he is a big sausage, and then again she misunderstood that.
Whatever the reason, the concept is that the cool kid is having a crush on the dweeb.
And this, while being done a million times, could have resulted in something new and fresh had they had more time to develop it. But since they also have the whole school spirit part mixed in there, there's just not enough time to really make something of it, other than, oh, let's just be friends.
Yeah, it is as lame as when it began. And with the global reset button at the end of every episode, I really can't make more of this concept. It is just as if it never happened.
Last episode, The Hater.
Which I must say is just pure brilliant. The fact that they knew the show blows and therefore in advance created an entire episode to show what they do to haters and those entitled not adults. Even though that most entitled people usually are more mature and those people just can't cope with being criticized. Yeah, you made a bad video game or movie. And when people call it a piece of shit, you call them entitled? Maybe, just maybe, you are the entitled one for not being able to be criticized.
Anyway, it seems that their web show, yeah, I forgot to mention that, didn't I?
This show is actually a web show within a web show, who actually also have a web show within the web show's web show. Yeah.
But they get a thumbs down, and that is just terrible.
Seriously, have you seen my videos? I more or less live off them right now.
But anyway, they make a huge deal out of this, resulting in the hater being a liker.
Oh why. That was the stories. Now, let's take a look at originality since it's rather quick to get through.
The fact it takes place in a web show is kind of new, but still sort of similar to Total Drama Island and shows like that, which also feature people talking into a camera. So I give half an effort point for this, but then again, it just copies various YouTubers and other social media content creators. So in all honesty, it might be one of the first, but still it's riding the waves of whatever is popular. The stories are more or less already boring since they take old concepts and do little to nothing to change them up, and if you already know of the global reset at the end of each episode, you sort of hits the spot of the end every time. There's little to nothing interesting in any of the stories, and sadly enough, the hater is the most original idea they had in these 5 episodes.
Okay, well, how about the jokes? Well, let me just show you this.
One more time. One more. One more. Never give up.
If you found that funny, then by all means go ahead and watch the show. But if you, like me, found this rather insulting to any living being ever, then do not approach the show. In fact, let me just tell you that this is indeed the height of jokes.
Apart from that, there's Really nothing else to talk about. Babs finds some glasses which makes her the voice of reason for about 5 minutes and then back to Crazy Babs. I think it's safe to say that if you don't like really dumb and unoriginal humor, then do not watch it. Usually when a show is only 10 minutes long, I tend to give 6 episodes a watch since, well, why not? Maybe that 6th episode introduces something I didn't realize.
But in this case, I could barely watch more than 1 episode. It is a snooze fest beyond belief. If you thought that Space Chickens in Space was bad, if you really disliked Breadwinners, those 2 shows understood entertainment better. Yeah, I said that.
For a comedy show, it really is way too boring and feels more like a YouTube video you really wouldn't recommend. And the fact that you have to pay for Netflix to see this really doesn't help me recommend it. Had it been aired on Nickelodeon, I still wouldn't recommend it. The characters are just stereotypes of kids of today, as well as a few agendas such as the fat ass being popular. The only thing I found that was tolerable was the dad's fear of tech, which to times could be funny, as well as the concept of the hater, but even that could have been done better, like how to cope with it rather than trying to turn it around. The art style, what can you say? I'm actually sick and tired of this low effort art style. I fucking miss the days of Animaniacs, Freakazoid and Batman the Animated Series, where it actually took effort to draw stuff instead of this really flat, unappealing shit they print out today.
So much more could have been done to make this a better show, and they surely had the time to do so, but instead, they decided to play it safe and make something similar to everyone else as of today. I'm the Angrynator, terminating bad movies for your entertainment.